Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. This is a place where I like to talk about spiritual and self-help concepts in a way that I've experienced them personally in my own life. So I kind of like to take an abstract concept and break it down so that you can see how it might develop in somebody's life. Today I want to talk about evil. And I laugh because obviously evil is it's an uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. What is it? How do we face it? Is it, hidden? It's a very, in-depth kind of concept. I decided to face evil or start really digging into it. I was in college. It was about a month or so into this class, and we had to do a report on something, and I decided I wanted to do something extremely uncomfortable. I wanted to do a topic that made me something that I normally wouldn't do. I was in a very growth phase in my life. And so there's this wonderful woman. She's a philosopher, Hannah Arendt. She wrote a book called The Banality of Evil. Highly recommend, or just listen to this and you'll get the gist of it. And the background, she was a Jewish philosopher in the mid 1940s, and World War II had ended. A lot of the German officers were on trial, and this one was a famous officer. His Adolf Heitmann. I think that's his name. It's been a while since I did the report. But anyways, he was on trial, and she went to the trial to go see it and witness it. And what she witnessed was something that was kind of absolutely incredible and mind-bending in certain ways. So here's this man, and this guy, he was very high-ranked. He was fist bumping with Adolf Hitler. Like, they were best, but like, he was one of the top notch and responsible for millions of deaths. He would put Jews on the trains that would send them to Auschwitz or other camps to die. So he was in charge of facilitating the death of, like I said, so many people. He, evil guy, right? But he's on this trial, and he has zero remorse. He is a hero to Germany for killing all those people, and he believes that. And if you look at it from that perspective of he did everything right. He followed his leader. He was a great soldier. He, what he truly believed was right was what he was doing. So on this trial, he was like, the enemy has caught me and the enemy wants to put me on trial. Like, he genuinely believed that what he had done was heroic, was right, and that, he did not change his mind at all. And as a philosopher going and seeing this, like, what a trip. And she comes back and she writes a report on it. She got a lot of hate for it by opening up this different mindset. And she wasn't arguing that he was right or that he was a moral man or that, in some facet what he did was right. She was showing and shining the light on how you can be so devoted to something and so devoted to a concept of country and king and your leader and just following them that you do believe that what you're doing is right. This concept seeped into my life, into my personal life, and really helped me understand that there are people who can be in a position of doing things that are just so fundamentally wrong. that just really shake you down to your core, but they believe is right. And, you know, you don't, it really comes down to not thinking for yourself if you're causing someone else physical harm. And it really came down to, kind of this parenting concept that I struggled with was, some parents really believe in a strong hand. They believe in physical punishment, and they believe that it is right. They believe it is good. But as a person who was on the receiving end of such things, I can tell you it is evil. It was never good. It never made sense. It never helped me. It only harmed me in multiple ways. But this was a pivotal point because we did not agree and we did not see eye to eye. And after doing this study of Hannah Arendt and what she discovered, it really opened my eyes to see how we could see things on such a different level and different perspective. The way that my caregivers decided to parent was not based on their own critical thinking. It was based on past patterns that they've been shown as correct and right. And, their religion, which told them that this was right and correct. Their friends that told them that this was right and correct. Their, spiritual leader who told them that this was right and correct. Books were written on this, and, how can this go so wrong? But it is that. It's somebody can really do harmful things and truly believe that they're doing something right. And that can be very hard to reconcile with, but it also gave me grounding. It gave me a place to stand. It allowed me to stand on this other side of this perspective and to say, this is wrong. And I understand how we will never see eye to eye on this, and that's okay. Coming to the final conclusion that it's okay is a long journey and process, but this concept was the start of it. To understand that there are people who, when you put them on trial, they will look at you and say, I did everything right. And they'll truly believe it. And it's not necessarily true. You can't change those people. You'll never convince Mr. Adolf Eichmann, that, murdering all those people was wrong. He'll never believe it. I'll never be able to convince, certain people that physical harm is something that shouldn't be done to, especially children. As adults, it's not really an issue, which blows my mind, because if you punch somebody else, you go to jail, but you can do the same thing to children, and it's called good parenting. It's just right. Anyways, but yeah, so if you struggle with something like that, or if you struggle with the fact that there's evil in the world, but that evil can wear confidence, and that evil can wear authority, and that evil can wear a smile, and that evil can wear righteousness, and come off as so sure and so right that they're doing the right thing. Just be aware of that, and don't be swept away by that, and be aware that everyone is susceptible to those beliefs, and maybe check your own beliefs and to see, are you thinking about this? Is this real? Check in with reality. So yeah, evil can wear a lot of faces, but check in with the reality. What is the outcome? What is actually happening to the people who are on the receiving end of this? And when you really dig into that, you'll really know, is this harmful? Is this not?